Well, for the last 23 years, I have served as a prosecutor in some capacity here in Tuscarawas County. I had started out as a city prosecutor in New Philadelphia, and I did that for about 3 years, and I was then given the opportunity to go to the Tuscarawas County Prosecutor's Office, and I started out there as a juvenile prosecutor, and I did that along with adult cases on a part-time basis till about 2009. And then in 2009, we had a change in our county in the prosecutor's office, and the elected official became Ryan Steyer, who is still our county prosecutor's office. And I was fortunate to not only to stay on with Ryan, but doubly fortunate in that he promoted me to be his chief assistant. And since that time, I've been given the opportunity to oversee the criminal caseload that comes into our office.
And so that's to say that that would be the highest caseload that's coming into your office, being the chief assistant prosecutor.
What that would mean is oversee cases as they come in, see that they are allocated to the other assistants in the office. I generally take on the more significant, if it's a homicide, more higher level felonies on some occasions, not all. We have other very good assistants in our office that also handle those types of cases. The one area that I have been specifically designated to, though, is in the drug-related cases in our office. And then one might argue that what case isn't drug-related to some extent in a prosecutor's office because of the number of people who abuse drugs and then maybe commit a crime or commit crimes in order to get drugs. But we have some cases that are specifically drug-driven cases, such as a possession case or a trafficking or other related cases that I have been handling since really before Ryan came on board, but since Ryan came on, doing those exclusively.
And sitting in on some of these court cases, of course, those are going to be those bigger ones that I would go to. This is a stressful job, and this is a job that can at times go some ugly places. I mean, how does somebody get drawn to this?
That is a good question and one that I've had before. I think there are a number of factors that draw you to them. Part of it is there are clearly victims that have suffered greatly as a result of it. I don't think that anyone would say they were drawn to it for those types of reasons, other than there certainly are cases in which it is very satisfying to know that someone has been held accountable who has victimized a person. But one of the sad aspects of being in the prosecutor's office is that unlike other areas of the law where maybe a win's a win, sometimes even getting a conviction in a prosecutor's office, you got to step back and remember, there could be, there's somebody who may not be the same as a result of it. There's going to be some injury that, after the case is over, they're still going to have, they're still going to be suffering from. So you always got to keep that in mind, but thankfully, many cases we have are not of that level where there is this immeasurable harm that happens to the person. They're often, I think, a challenging case. They can have a lot of constitutional issues that need to be addressed that I find interesting. If you like trial work, it is the place to go. It's probably the place to go if you want to be in the courtroom. And I've always enjoyed being in the courtroom. So I guess it's the job for me.